The Infinity Gauntlet is arguably the most powerful object in the Marvel Universe when it contains all 6 gems, that being the Power Gem, Mind Gem, Time Gem, Space Gem, Soul Gem, and Reality Gem, or Stones as they're known in the MCU. When all gems are present, one has the ability to literally control anything and everything, and make whatever they desire occur or appear. We were introduced to the Gauntlet through Thanos, the Mad Titan, who gathered up all the gems in order to gain omnipotent power over the universe to prove himself worthy of Death's affection during the Infinity Gauntlet miniseries, and now up on the big screen in the MCU. But he's not the only character who has wielded it over the years, so today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 superheroes who wielded the Infinity Gauntlet. And at number 10, Tony Stark. The Volume 4 Avengers was post-Dark Reign. It was the heroic age, meant to return to form with classic superhero stories featuring the likes of familiar narratives, including the return of the Infinity Gauntlet and the Gems. The villain Parker Robbins, aka the Hood, sought out the Infinity Gems, and of course the Avengers rallied together to stop him. When the Gauntlet was taken away from him, it was by Tony Stark, who in turn completed the Gauntlet and became the first human to ever wield it. Tony then pretended to will it out of existence, but instead gave each member of the Illuminati one of the gems in order to protect them and keep them safe. Up next, number 9, Spider-Man. In the Avengers and the Infinity Gauntlet Volume 1 Issue 1 back in 2010, Thanos returns and has acquired all of the Infinity Gems. Alongside the Avengers, Spider-Man confronts him, but in contrast to all of the previous times when the Mad Titan had the upper hand on Parker and typically beat the character to a pulp, this time Peter steals the Gauntlet from him after it slides off of Thanos' hand while he fights a Doombot. Peter then uses it to rewrite the timeline, so that Thanos never got his hands on the Infinity Gems to begin with only Spider-Man retaining the memory of what happened. Up next at 8, Lockjaw. A different form of the Gauntlet and at this number. Lockjaw is a pretty underrated superhero, probably because he's a dog. Lockjaw, who initially served as the Inhumans' teleporter and escort to the royal family, eventually led the Pet Avengers. It was in that series that the character decides to pursue the Infinity Gems after Mr. Fantastic pays the Inhumans a visit, searching for the same thing. Lockjaw finds the Mind Gem, it boosts his intelligence, and he begins his quest, recruiting a few other furry friends, and reptile ones. They're successful too, until Thanos appears and kills one of their team, causing them to banish Thanos to an alternate dimension and revive their pal. Once all gems are assembled, Lockjaw wears them all in a collar rather than a gauntlet, and then presents them to Mr. Fantastic, who is pretty surprised that he did all of this. It's because Lockjaw is such a good boy. Up next at 7, Black Panther. Black Panther's stint with the Gauntlet took place in the 2015 Secret Wars. At the time, Dr. Doom had the Beyonder's powers and was practically a god, ruling over Battleworld. Black Panther is given the Gauntlet to battle the now practically omnipotent Doom. T'Challa loses though, but he served his purpose. He and the Gauntlet were essentially a distraction, and Doom went on to fight Reed Richards next. Up next, number 6, Ultimate Hulk. Swinging on over to the Marvel Ultimate Universe for this number. So in that universe, the Infinity Gauntlet is a bit different. Instead of being one gauntlet, there's actually 2, and there's 8 gems, not 6. The 8 are spread across the 2 gauntlets, and the Hulk got his grabbers on both of them in the Ultimates issue 25 back in 2011. During an ambush of S.H.I.E.L.D. by Kang the Conqueror, Hulk, who was imprisoned there, was let loose, and Bruce Banner's angrier half slipped on the gauntlets to take revenge for being locked up, which, if you think about it, could have been catastrophic, except that not all the gems were in the gauntlet, and the Ultimates managed to subdue him, thankfully. Up next at 5, Santa Claus. Yep, that's right, good old Saint Nick wore the Infinity Gauntlet once upon a time. This occurred in the Marvel Holiday Spectacular 2009, when the Illuminati let him borrow it in order to complete his Christmas Eve deliveries when his reindeer turned out to be Skrull imposters. The power gets to his head a little, leaving Doctor Strange exclaiming this wonderful line: "I told you letting Santa Claus use the Infinity Gauntlet was a bad idea." Oh, the hilarity. Namor then whips a snowball at the Christmas icon, knocking the gauntlet off of Santa's hand and into a snowbank. And then instead Iron Man sets him up with some robotic reindeer. Up next, number 4, Captain America. Prior to the 2015 Secret Wars story arc, under the Marvel Now label in the New Avengers, the Avengers had another crisis on their hands. An alternate Earth was colliding with Earth 616. The volume, written by Jonathan Hickman, more so focused on the Illuminati rather than the Avengers, but still contained a familiar cast of characters. After Black Panther discovers another Earth hanging over Wakanda, that is destroyed by Black Swan, Reed Richards looks into it and discovers that it's a multiversal chain reaction that is causing universes to collide with one another. Captain America donned the gauntlet to try to prevent it, but that didn't work. The power was so immense that it destroyed the gauntlet and the gems, minus the Time Gem, and left the Illuminati with no other choice but having to destroy the alternate Earth that was colliding into them. Cap was opposed, of course, so Doctor Strange casted a spell to erase his memory of the event. Up next, number 3, Reed Richards. In New Avengers Illuminati issue 2, it's revealed that Reed Richards has attempted to rebuild the gauntlet in order to use its power to then destroy it once and for all, but he was prevented by doing so due to the great temptation of its power. So he decided that it would be best to give each member of the Illuminati one of the gems in order to prevent the same thing from happening again. Later on, in Jonathan Hickman's run on Fantastic Four, Reed would discover that there was a multiversal council of Reeds, and that he was the only one who didn't possess the Infinity Gauntlet, which is pretty damn hilarious. In our number 2 spot, Deadpool. Perhaps the most surprising character on this list to get his wrist inside that gauntlet is Deadpool. This happens in Deadpool 45. At the time, in his solo series, there was a recurring gag where the character would be placed in various past eras of Marvel Comics, since the character and his stories can often be super meta. And at one point, one of the eras that he was popped into was during the initial 1992 Infinity Gauntlet miniseries. In the story, Thanos had hired Deadpool to steal the gauntlet, but instead Deadpool makes a fake one and gives it to Thanos, and uses the real one for his own comedic purposes. He gets all the heroes of the universe together to give him a roast. The story also features the Thanos copter, and Deadpool gets knocked out of it, so brownie points for bringing that one back. And last but not least, in at number 1, Adam Warlock. Out of all the heroes in the Marvel Universe, Adam Warlock is the one with the most experience when it comes to the Infinity Gauntlet. He initially obtained it in the miniseries of the same title, after Thanos' first attempt at taking over the entire universe was thwarted by him and pretty much all of the Marvel heroes and celestial entities. Warlock is the one who brings everybody together after the Silver Surfer warns him of Thanos' plans. He also manages to get it away from Nebula when she steals it from Thanos after he believes he's won the war. Eventually, Warlock, rather than maintain the gauntlet with all of its gems, decides alongside a tribunal of celestials that the gems should be dispersed. Warlock had a massive weight on his shoulders if he had chosen to keep it, and the living tribunal agrees, even though Eternity believes the power should belong to him. Alright, there we have it, friends. Which character surprised you the most? And what character would you love to see wear the gauntlet once more? Let us know your thoughts in those comments below. If you dug this video, please show some love by hitting those like and subscribe buttons, and don't forget to check out the playlist that's currently flashing on your screen for all things nerdy and Infinity War. In the meantime, thanks for watching. I'll catch you all in the next one.